Okay, so it's 4 o'clock. We can start with the presentation. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to go over a few quick housekeeping items. Everyone will be muted throughout the presentation. If you have any questions during the webinar, please use the chat box located at the bottom of your screen. So good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for another Product Insight Thursday. This is the day of the week we partner with the nation's top senior health and life carriers and other products that must have in your portfolio. My name is Natalie Solis, and I'm part of the agent relations team for the Southern region. Today, we're excited to be joined by Dalton Miller. He's the president of RetireFlow, who will be sharing some exciting new enhancements to the RetireFlow platform that it was designed to make your workflow more efficient and streamlined, especially now that we're preparing for the upcoming AP. So welcome, Dalton, and we're glad to have you with us. Please feel free to take it from here.
Natalie, a pleasure. I would tell all of you before I get started here that I have the privilege of serving about 10,000 agents across this country. And as a result of that, I have a privilege of working with many great FMOs, NMOs, large agencies. And I've just been incredibly impressed by the JSA team, constantly wanting to bring innovative new concepts to people, making people aware of the tools that are out there for them. And we are proud to be a great partner to them, and they're a great partner to us. So for those of you out there thinking about JSA, I think about my friend Chris Hagerstrom, who's a leader in this industry. You are in great hands with Jack Schrader and Associates. So it's a privilege to talk about RetireFlow today with all of you, and all of you tuning in from across the country. So I want to start by just giving everybody just a quick refresher on what RetireFlow is. Many of you probably are very familiar with us. Chris and the JSA team always do a wonderful job of talking about our platform. But what the heck is this thing? Just as a reminder, RetireFlow is an online survey that's designed for Medicare agents by Medicare agents. And that by I'm the Medicare agent in question. But what we are designed to do is to help you prepare for every single meeting that you take. We're a survey that you can send to your client or prospect in advance of a meeting. It's going to ask them about 9 questions. The font is humongous. This is what it looks like over here on the right. It asks 1 question at a time. It's incredibly easy for seniors. In fact, it looks great on any mobile device, tablet, iPad, computer, Kindle. You send this survey to your clients. It's white labeled with your logo and your headshot. So that way they know it's coming from you. And when they answer your 9 questions, you get 3 things. 1, you get a list of that client's drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. On those drugs, they're spelled correctly every single time. Dosage, quantity, frequency, package, brand of the generic, everything that you need to go out and run a quote for your client. You also achieve permission to contact, and you get a signed scope of appointment form before you ever meet that client. So, or have that meeting with the client. So we packaged it all up together in 9 questions. It's super easy for seniors. And we took the world by storm last year. Our service RetireFlow did not exist in 2023. And in 2024, we produced just short of 1 million submissions for agents across the country. 1 million seniors completed our survey, or just short. We were really, really close for agents, and help them prepare for every single meeting that they take. And where agents find a lot of value in our service is especially getting prepared for the annual enrollment period. If somebody's going to shop their plan in the fall, there's a couple things we need to know about that client in order to do a nice job. And it's the things that we collect. Got to know your client's drugs, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, so you can go out and run your quotes. And we're going to talk about that portion here in a second. But a couple things you should know about RetireFlow. We are CMS compliant. We submit our system through the health plan management system every year, which is as anybody at JSA would tell you, is a real pain in the butt. But we do that to back you up on the back end. We're HIPAA and SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. And ultimately, what we want to be very, very clear about here at RetireFlow is the data that we help you collect is yours and only yours. We can't see it. We don't want to see it. It's designed to empower you and make you prepared for every single meeting that you take. And the other reason we're so popular is this tiny little thing in the bottom right-hand corner. There's no username or password required for your beneficiaries. You send them the link, they answer the questions on whatever device, you're immediately notified, and you can go in and review your client's data. Now, wouldn't this be cooler if it spoke to an enrollment platform like MyHealthPlan? Surprise, it does. And so it creates an absolutely deadly workflow for agents where you can send our survey out, collect all that data. And that survey, by the way, is going to look and feel like you. It's not going to look and feel like us. It's super easy to use for seniors. So collect all that good, healthy data, run your quotes, and ultimately enroll that person in a plan. So with RetireFlow and MyHealthPlan, 3 clicks to enrollment. Absolutely deadly. And let me talk about what's happening in this industry. As many of you know, we're seeing more and more Part D plans go non-commissionable. We're seeing dramatic changes to formularies across the country and the way that seniors pay for their prescriptions at the pharmacy. You know, the prices are changing as a result of these formulary changes. And who do they call when they go to the pharmacy and the prescription that used to cost them $20 now costs them $200? They call you and they say, I want to shop my plan in the fall. But as agents, that's a really difficult process to identify what plan is best for someone. That's our bread and butter. But with this combo, RetireFlow and MyHealthPlan, you can do that in just 3 clicks. So very, very cool workflow. You can send out automated texts and emails inside of MyHealthPlan, or you're going to hear me talk about Connecture. Connecture and MyHealthPlan are, of course, the same thing. Or MyHealthPlan is powered by Connecture. So a very, very cool tool to help you get prepared for the annual enrollment period, especially with the ongoing changes that we see from the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, many of you probably used RetireFlow last year because my buddies at JSA might have convinced you to do so. And there was a little, we're brand new, okay? And you have to give us a little bit of slack on this. But we had a little, I don't want to call it an issue, but just the way our service was set up inside of MyHealthPlan was a little bit stodgy, okay? I'll admit it. I call it medieval times. Last year, just a few days ago, you could only send out surveys 1 at a time. I call it the medieval times, the dark ages, where you'd log into MyHealthPlan and you'd send out a survey from a profile and we'd map all that data back to the profile. Or maybe you press new beneficiary via RetireFlow and you send it to a prospect. But remember, you can only do it 1 at a time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the game has changed. In partnership, we learned a lot from our partners at JSA. We work closely with Chris Hagerstrom and Tyler Tolbert to work on these projects, but we can't wait, and we already have, it exists today, to bring you 2 massive enhancements that are just designed to make your AEP more efficient. What are they? Introducing the Super Link. What is the Super Link? Well, back in the day, and I'll show you what that used to look like. Remember, you could only send 1 at a time, and you couldn't really take the RetireFlow survey outside of Connecture or outside of MyHealthPlan. The game has changed. Introducing the Super Link. What the Super Link is you get to take our RetireFlow survey and we give it to you on what we call a Pearl or a Super Link, a website, just a link that's always going to stay the same, that you can send to your book of business however you so choose. You can email it through Constant Contact. You can send it out through JSA's new platform, Core, which, by the way, you should check out. You can send it out through any CRM. You can put that link on your website. We even give you free QR codes so you can put it on print materials and send it out in your AEP letters. And what it's designed to do is when people click on that link, we're going to walk them through the RetireFlow survey, those same 9 questions. When they complete it, we're either going to create a contact in MyHealthPlan or update an existing one. So we have really incredible logic that reads your MyHealthPlan that says, all right, you know what we're going to do on this one? We already have a contact for Susie Senior. We're just going to update it with her up-to-date information. Or if Susie Senior is new to you, we're going to create a brand new contact in your MyHealthPlan. So it's designed for you to build out your profiles in MyHealthPlan with the data that you need. So we've got deduping mechanisms built in, but this tool, the Superlink, is perfect for everything. It's a Swiss Army knife where you can take our battle-tested, game-changing survey and send it to your folks however you so choose. Again, put it on your website, email blast it out through MailChimp or Constant Contact or whatever tools you use. Put it on your business card. Put it in your email signature. Drop it in a workflow in your CRM. Follow up on a Calendly. Post it on social media. Anything else that you can do with the website, you can do with this Superlink. So that we're going to read, and Travis asked a wonderful question. How do you know to map it back to those clients? Well, we have some game-changing logic that we've really worked hard on. So we're going to check. There's a lot happening in the background, but if one of your existing clients happens to complete this survey, we're going to check their email, their phone number, and then ultimately their first name. And then we're working on some additional statistics. So that way we know to perfectly map it when, you got to be careful because sometimes husbands and wives share emails and phone numbers. But we've got some logic in here to prevent against that. So that's how we know. But absolutely deadly weapon here. And Matt, feel free. I saw you raise your hand there. Feel free to jump in and ask a question in the chat. So if you want access to your Superlink, it's located in 2 different spots. And we're going to talk about the other enhancement here in a second. But you can access your Superlink in your RetireFlow dashboard here by simply pressing Copy Superlink on your main dashboard. We're going to copy it and paste it. And I'm going to show you what it would look like if you sent a survey to somebody via the Superlink. So it's going to look just like this, except it'll say MyHealthPlan at the top left. It's the only difference. We're going to encourage that beneficiary to answer a few questions. And when they do, they're going to continue on straight into the RetireFlow survey where they begin to share their information with you, just like you're used to today, except mass distribution on your own letterhead. So very, very cool. How will this all integrate in core CRM? That's the great thing. We're going to be releasing our formal integration with core in advance of AEP. So all of that data that we collect here will automatically flow into core. So all of these things are going to be perfectly married together, creating the perfect circle where you're collecting data with RetireFlow, you're storing and managing that data in core or in any other CRM for that matter, and you get to enroll folks in plans via MyHealthPlan. So very, very cool. That's how the Superlink works. And again, we're going to have plenty of time for me to answer questions after this because this presentation isn't quite as long. So that's the Superlink. But ladies and gentlemen, it gets better than that. It gets better than that. In fact, this is the thing that I couldn't be more excited to bring you. Ladies and gentlemen, meet bulk send. Woo! Bulk send. What the heck is bulk send? Bulk send allows you to distribute the RetireFlow survey via text or email or both to your entire book, the whole book, in one click. One click. Absolutely deadly weapon in advance of AEP. So how does it work? We're going to read your book of business in MyHealthPlan. So we're going to pull in all of those contacts. Maybe you're an agent out there who's got 500 contacts in MyHealthPlan. Maybe you're an agent who's got 10,000 contacts in MyHealthPlan. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're going to pull all of those into RetireFlow and give you the chance to mass blast the survey via text or email or both at the same time to your entire book in just one click. If you've got a book of 10,000 clients, it'll literally only take 3 minutes to mass blast it out. So it's absolutely deadly. And we're also going to give you the capability to search, sort, and filter that list. So let's say you're an agent out there, and just to use a round number, you have 500 clients. You have 500 clients. And it's just a flat round number. You can chop up that list. So you don't have to send it to all 500 in one click. You can maybe send to 100 folks who live in a certain zip code, 100 folks who live in a certain state, 100 folks who have a certain area code or in certain regions, 100 folks who are on a Part D plan, 100 folks who are on a Medicare Advantage plan. So you can chop up your book of business and distribute it so that way you're having wildly efficient AEPs. So you might notice that all of my clients who have a certain plan, there's a hospital that fell out of network. I need to go out and attack those people. You can identify those, send out those surveys, bulk. And we precision data map all of their answers to those surveys back into their profiles in MyHealthPlan. So what this means in short, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like here in just a moment, is that you're going to be able to prepare for AEP, getting the data that you need before October 1st and October 15th, well in advance, in literally minutes. The most effective thing, and why don't we go in there, so I'll stop talking about it and start showing it, is that we also allow you to mass distribute based on if someone has completed the survey yet. So let's say I've got 24 clients in here, okay, in my health plan. Let's call it 24. Now, I know many of you have far more than that. When I press send survey and my bulk send, which again lives right here on your RetireFlow dashboard on the left called bulk send. When I press send survey, I'm going to send that survey to all my clients, all 24. And I can filter them by last sent, last received. So that way, when somebody's put their information in, you can take them off the list and you don't have to worry about them. You get to customize the message that goes with it and decide, do I want to text it? Do I want to email it? Or do I want to both it? Which, absolutely deadly weapon. Let's say you've identified within your 500 clients all of your sub-PDP people. We were also releasing this other feature, which is called the Part D only survey. So in that survey, when you mass distribute it to your supplement folks, we take out the doctor and hospital question. So that way, thank you, Travis, I appreciate that. So that way, those folks don't have to answer it. And you don't have to freak out your supplement clients about asking about doctors and hospitals, because a lot of times they go, that's why I'm on a supplement, right? So when you mass distribute it, we mass blast it out it takes about 20 seconds every 100 you send it to. So if you're going to send this to 10,000 people, it might take 10 minutes. But folks, you're going to be able to mass distribute these things. Now, let's say you want to check how well were these surveys delivered. What if I have out-of-date emails and phone numbers for people, and I want to make sure that my clients get the survey? We track that for you here in the activity section, allowing you to see, okay, I sent a survey and it got delivered to Susie Senior via phone or email. We'll also tell you if it was partially delivered. So maybe you have an out-of-date cell phone number, or maybe what you thought was a cell phone number for Susie is actually a landline. We'll flag that for you here. Or maybe you got an out-of-date email. We'll flag that for you here. So you can chop it up there. But bulk send is an absolute weapon to prepare for AEP. And I want to take a second to thank a guy like Tyler Tolbert and Adam and Chris there's a lot of people who work at JSA, but they were fierce advocates with us to get this functionality into MyHealthPlan and into RetireFlow. So we're very, very thankful. And Joseph asked a wonderful question. And we can go through the survey if you'd like. I don't want to bore everybody. I know many of you are already users of RetireFlow. But Joseph asked, for the doctor search, is the form still where people can manually write in their doctors, or is there a search feature now? Great question. We built in a doctor API so they can search for their doctor based on the address too, as well. So that's a massive enhancement as well, which is pretty cool. But those are the two enhancements. And these things are designed with no additional cost. Oh, great question. I'm going to answer that in a second, Pam. But we're delivering you the super link and bulk send, mass texting, mass emailing. Your subscription doesn't go up. There's a lot of tools out there when they make enhancements, they want to rake everybody for prices, and that's not the case with RetireFlow. We believe in what agents do, and we want to deliver something that's affordable and also damn good. And I would tell you that there is no better tool to prepare for the annual enrollment period than this one. Pam asked a question about husbands and wives who use the same email. We had a little bug last AEP where husbands and wives were overwriting each other. That's been completely and totally patched. We patched it at the end of November, which I would argue is probably a little too late. But when you bulk send this to a husband and wife, let's say they fall within your 1,000 clients, one of your, let's say Bob Sr. completes the survey first, that survey's closed. Susie cannot go into it. So the husband and wife bug, we built in a lot of logic to ensure that never happens again. So very, very cool addition there. So if you are new to RetireFlow and you want to use this thing to get prepared for AEP, because there ain't no better way, simply log into MyHealthPlan, which, by the way, this is what this looks like. I know it says shop your plan, but imagine this is MyHealthPlan. This is my connection. It's identically the same. But to sign up for RetireFlow, you simply click on your name in the top right corner of MyHealthPlan and go into the account overview. Here for you, there'll be a big box that says RetireFlow. All you gotta do is press sign up. We'll ask some questions. We'll ask you to give us your headshot and your logo. The billing process takes place here, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. And then immediately, the moment that you complete that sign up process, which is like 6 questions, you're ready to rock and roll. You can bulk send, you can use the super link, you can go into MyHealthPlan and send out the survey through there. It's an absolutely deadly weapon to get prepared for every single meeting. And it works absolutely fantastic with the tools that JSA provides. So not only is this going to work with Core, which again, I would strongly encourage you to check out. There's a reason why star players like Chris have developed this thing. It's pretty darn good. I've seen it. But it works great with whatever CRM. You can always collect all of the data that we provide to you in RetireFlow. We provide you existing copies here of all your clients' answers, and you can download them into a giant CSV or Excel file and automatically upload it into whatever tools that you use. Frank Vonderlaken, if I'm saying that right, cool name, by the way, asks, is there any changes, any need to make changes for existing agents? So if you're a user of RetireFlow, the only thing that I would encourage you to do is turn on your book of business access. So we just ask you permission to share your book. Again, this data is yours and only yours. We can't see it, but simply logging into your account overview, and you'll have the option that says connect your book of business. And then that way we can then read and all of your contacts in MyHealthPlan and deliver you bulk send. We just need to be able to send it against your list. So that's kind of how it works. But once you make that checkbox, all that data goes right in and we're ready to rock on bulk send. So how much does RetireFlow cost, by the way? It's incredibly affordable if you don't have it. If you don't have it, you should have it. But for everybody else that doesn't work with JSA, our surveys cost either $60 a month or $600 for the whole year. You can pay monthly or annually. Both of these are 12-month contracts, so don't go into this lightly. Don't make a decision you don't want to make. But at the same time, there's no better way to prepare for AEP. Now, that's how much it costs for everybody else. What about JSA agents? With promo code JSA50, JSA agents get RetireFlow at the most affordable price in the entire country. Nobody has a 50% off discount. Only JSA does. That's because we're so proud of our relationship with JSA. So with promo code, or access code, excuse me, JSA50, all caps, JSA50, you get access to our surveys for half off. So for $30 a month or for $300 for the whole year, you can mass blast, bulk send, super link, get prepared for AEP well in advance of October 1st. So absolutely deadly weapon, and happy to take any questions at this point. And by the way, we've been working on these tools for quite a while, and this is a big day for us. So we're so excited to finally bring it to you, and we appreciate everybody hopping on to learn about these new enhancements. Joseph asked, is this price for all different types of forms or just Medicare? Yes, great question. Your promo code, JSA50, applies to all of our surveys. So if you'd like to buy our ACA survey, which by the way is pretty deadly, I would consider that if I were you. We have an under 65 survey that captures dependent information, who's in the household, smoking status, drugs, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, income level. That's also 50% off. Those surveys cost a little bit cheaper. Those are only $50 a month, but with your promo code, you get them half off at $25 a month. Same will apply for our incoming life and annuity survey, where we're going to help you identify who in your book might benefit from a life or an annuity policy. So very, very cool. Frank asked a wonderful question. When is it recommended to send out our surveys for 2026? We're going to say early and often, okay? My recommendation is that you send your first mass blast on August 1st. But I would tell you that we've worked really, really hard on this, and I'm going to actually share with you something that's pretty cool. We have an online conference. It's a virtual conference. It's absolutely free to agents. And I'm going to pull it up here real quick. That's happening on July 22nd. It's called Flow Day. Here we go. Where did it go? This is a conference where we've got industry leaders from everywhere talking about when to send out the survey, how to send out the survey. We're going to give everybody communication templates, things that you can copy and paste and send to your book, how to text it, when you should text it, why you should send it on August 1st instead of August 2nd. We're going to be talking about that on our free agent conference Flow Day. So we'll shoot you an email, I'm sure, inviting you to this. We'd love to have you. It's totally free. We've having some rockstar JSA agents who are going to be there talking about what they did last AEP and what their game plan is for this AEP. So don't miss Flow Day on July 22nd. Something to write down. It's that. Also, make sure you write down the access code there. I got a couple other questions. Let's see here. Sandra asked a question. What if a person does not want to complete the survey due to a tech issue? Can we create on... I'm not entirely sure what you're asking there, Sandra, but if you want to complete the survey alongside of your clients, you want to send it to them and work with them on it in person, you're absolutely available to do that. That's the other cool thing is if you're out and about and you're meeting with folks in real life, maybe you're tabling, maybe you're at a pharmacy working with folks or at a community center, pull up the super link and hand it to those folks on an iPad or a computer and have them complete it right there. You're going to get a scope, their drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies, and show up locked and loaded for a meeting a couple days later. So a super link works great for whatever way you want to distribute the survey. Wes Drew asked a great question. Is an email required to fill out the survey? No, it's not. It's absolutely not. So all of our questions are optional on our survey per CMS, but we do a lot of work on the back end to ensure your folks put that information in, but an email is not required. So if you want to send this out via text to somebody who only has a smartphone, they can go through it right there on their phone, complete the survey, no big deal. Jill says, it says $299 per integration. I don't know what you're referring to there. I can go back and look at the pricing screen, but can you explain how much we pay if we want to integrate MyHealthPlan and Core? If the RetireFlow portion of this is only going to be $299 for the whole year or $29.99 a month. Those are your two options. It does not cost any more to integrate with MyHealthPlan or to Core. You're just buying a RetireFlow subscription. After the fact, it integrates with those things and it there is no additional cost per integration. Observer 311 says, I'm a newer agent. My upline prefers Sunfire, so most of my clients are in there. Any Sunfire integration, or should I migrate to MyHealthPlan so I can use RetireFlow? Here's my opinion on that. And Sunfire's out there. I know that it exists. I would tell you that MyHealthPlan is one of the leading enrollment platforms in this country, and there's a reason why. It's because it's damn good. I would strongly consider it if I were you. At the same time, you can use RetireFlow and enter that data into Sunfire on the back end. So to that person, I think the other thing that's important to note about RetireFlow is this data doesn't just sync into MyHealthPlan and sync into Core. We also present it back to you in CMS compliant reports here in your RetireFlow submission center. What the heck? It's a lot of words. You send a survey to Susie Senior, she completes it. You're going to get a copy of her answers here in the RetireFlow submission center. In a perfect report, I'll give you a little example of one. Here's Susie Senior I did the other day. We're going to give you a CMS compliant document that says, here's what Susie Senior said in your survey. You're going to get her name, her address, her zip, her county, her email, her pharmacies, all of her prescriptions. For the MyHealthPlan users, all this data is also going to sync into there, but we're also always going to keep these compliant reports for you. I call them compliant reports because they can back you up if a grievance is ever filed against you. So let's say you meet with the client and they tell you that they take a atorvastatin and Advair. Those are their two prescriptions. You enroll them in a plan, everything's fine. 6 months later, grievance filed against you from the insurance company. Says, you didn't do a good enough job explaining whether Susie's Eliquis was covered. Susie never told you she took Eliquis. Now I've got a timestamped CMS compliant document that says, here's what my client told me they took. And you can send this document in and make that grievance unfounded. So this backup document is always here on RetireFlow. And this is actually a great place to sign your scope of appointment. This is how you sign your scopes on RetireFlow. It's simply here by pressing sign. And this is kind of a cool tool because let's say you meet with a client or you've got an appointment scheduled with somebody next week and you get sick and another agent in your agency meets with that client, you can sign the scope of appointment and make it accurate based on the meeting that took place. A lot of people provide scopes, but differently, we don't pre-bake them with any information. So we allow you to sign them and make them accurate based on the meeting that took place. So very, very cool. But folks, use RetireFlow. Life's too short to listen to your clients try to spell levothyroxine over the phone, okay? Use bulk send, mass blast this thing out, sign up today in your MyHealthPlan account overview and use promo code JSA50, 50% off. I mean, if you write one more app or retain one client, you paid for this thing for 2 years. And with bulk send and the super link, y'all are going to run it up. So, and we're always here for you. If you ever have questions, we meet with everybody one-on-one. If you want to, you don't have to. But everybody has a good idea of how this program works today. But if you want to meet with us whenever you want, simply go to retireflow.com, set up a demo. You can meet with a real person from our team as early as next week, whenever it's convenient for you. So Travis says, I'm going to quote you, life is too short to listen to your clients try to spell levothyroxine. It's true. It's true. I've done it too many times in my life, okay? There's an easier way to prepare for AEP, and JSA is bringing this to you because they believe in us. We believe in them, and it's battle tested. It works. So try it out today. It's a no-brainer way to do that. So great question. Somebody asked for a POA to complete for the client. Yes, we're including a power of attorney addition to the survey this year, well in advance of AEP. We just got to get it approved through CMS first. So we're including that as well. But Jackie, we agree, game changer. If you want RetireFlow, log into MyHealthPlan. When you arrive, it'll look like this. Click on your name in the top right corner and click Account Overview. Mass blast, bulk send, AEP is going to be taken care of, and everybody on this call is going to have a better AEP than the folks who weren't. So I really appreciate the time, Natalie.
Thank
Any
you so
questions on your end?
No, I really appreciate Dalton for the information and such an engaging presentation. We truly appreciate your time and the insights you have shared with us today. Well, we hope everyone found the demonstration of this powerful tool both helpful and inspiring as everybody prepare for AEP. Just a quick reminder to everyone, today's webinar has been recorded. Just in case someone joined us late, I'm gonna be sending an email if in case you have any other questions. Also, you can call us directly at 800-203-0433. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Product Insight Thursday. Thank you so much, Dalton. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Take care.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya. Bye-bye.